All right, so welcome back to our Saturday yoga flow. Today we'll have some vinyasa elements, kind of the sun salutations, the warriors that we kind of typically touch on Saturdays. And then we're also going to transition to some floor work that's going to work on actually like the glutes. You don't need me to point to where the glutes are, but like the outside edges of the glutes, like the inside parts, it's going to be, we're going to fire them up. And but all in all, it's a good thing. So when you are cursing my name and cursing the name of glutes all around, it's good for us. It helps with our stability and our structure all around. And then with any other kind of physical activity, it's a really awesome muscle group structure to strengthen. So we're gonna touch on that. And we're also gonna do some core work specifically. We always do some core, but we're gonna like spend a little bit of tender loving care on the core today. So I figured today we'd start with just a little bit of a, I hear him playing the music from the other room. So we're going to start with just a little bit of kind of like stretchy, breathy stuff, just some weird stuff. My allergies are kind of bad today, and so maybe yours are also not great in the last couple of days with all the rain. So I figured just to kind of get into our nasal passages, we're just going to, I can't see you, so just do it in your own. We're going to just make all of these bizarre stretchy shapes with our faces, just to kind of stretch it out. So we're going to start with our mouth really wide open, and then close everything up, like scrunch it all together. You can even use your hands and just kind of spread your cheeks out, up and down, really getting above the eyebrow area, a little massage, and just kind of move your face, use your hands to massage, and just kind of get in there. I promise you, it kind of feels good. Just stretching it all out. And just do that for another second or two. Really getting into those little sinus areas. Good. So now you might be slightly flushed and warm. My skin actually feels hotter. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of a heated breath, just to kind of open everything up in the back of the throat, especially with allergies, but anxiety, stress, it can kind of make our breath a little bit shorter, a little choppier, and less deep. So we're gonna actually take a deep inhale through our nose, and on the exhale, we're gonna open our mouth wide, especially in the back of the throat. The back of the tongue goes down, the soft palate goes up, and we're gonna like make like smoky breath. So to demonstrate, we'll take a deep inhale in, and then really letting that diaphragm press that heated air out of your breath. And that's gonna kind of clear away some of the cobwebs if you have any, and also kind of activate the diaphragm in this kind of powerful, controlled exhale. So let's do 3 on your own. Deep inhale. Very nice. Awesome. So let's get right to it. I'm going to pop my little bud in my ear. I'm going to play some tunes. And I'm hoping class ends actually on time today. But if at any point you need to leave a little early, do what you have to do. So we are going to start in a seated position. I'm going to start with my knees slightly wider than my hips and my toes touching in the back. My big toes touching. However, if this is uncomfortable, feel free to place a blanket under your knees or just simply cross your knees, sit how you normally would. We're going to move through a variation on cat-cow, one where we start seated and we end folded forward. So your hands are just on your knees. You're just going to use your hands however is supported for you. We're going to take a deep inhale, pressing your chest forward, light shining from your heart, gaze lifts, shoulder blades come together, deep inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to slowly move until our foreheads are touching or nearly touching the ground. Arch your back and come up. So you're kind of making a wave. Inhale, chest out, heart shines up. And then when your head reaches the bottom, exhale to arch the spine, round up. And just move it through a couple circles on your own. Inhale, heart out. Exhale, round up. Let's go 2 more. last one. Excellent. You can keep your knees like this, or you can find a more comfortable seated position. We're just going to stretch out our neck. We're going to drop our left ear towards our left shoulder. Your right fingertips can point towards the ground. If you're on your knees, your hand might not reach. Just send that energy down and feel that stretch. Good. Inhale to come back to center, roll it out. And then exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Maybe you want to send your fingertips towards the ground. Just to emphasize that stretch. Good, and then come back to center. And let's just place our hands in front of our heart in prayer. Slightly dip your chin towards your chest. Lower your gaze, maybe close your eyes, and just take a couple moments to yourself. Excellent. And then we're going to lift our chin, stretch it out. Any little wiggles or stretches you want to do before we come onto our hands and knees. So carefully lifting up. If you have been on your knees that whole time, you can give them a little shake just to get the blood flow back in. Excellent. All right, so we're going to start with our hands directly under our shoulders. Belly button is pulling towards our spine, not so much that our spine rounds, but just so we don't have this collapsing happening. Nice flat spine. We're going to inhale, press the right toes back, straighten the knee. And then exhale, slowly lower it directly under your head. Same thing left side. Inhale, just to stretch it out. If you want to even do a couple little calf stretches by leaning into the heel, go for it. On your exhale, send it back. One more time each side. Inhale to send the right leg back. Maybe you want to stretch out the calf. And then inhale left. Good, and you're just starting to build a little resistance with the floor. Your arms are starting to engage, getting prepared for downward dogs and stuff. All right, we're going to inhale our right leg back, all the way into the air, flex your toes. Exhale. Inhale to bend that right knee towards your right elbow, and then exhale to send it back, toes pointing out. Two more like that. Inhale, right knee to right elbow. Really crunching in that right side body. Exhale to send it back. And inhale one more time. You got it. Hold it, hold it. And then exhale, send it back. Rotate the hips so the toes are down. Point those feet behind you. And then just with grace, send it back down to the ground. Excellent. Inhale, left foot, same thing. Up into the air. Flex that foot. Exhale to rotate that hip outward and send that left knee to your left elbow. Inhale to send it back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Knee to elbow. Exhale, send it back. And your leg is not high here, simply in line with your spine. Inhale in, hold it. Then exhale, send it back. Rotate the hip, point that toe, and bring it down. We're going to open our hips a little here, our knees a little bit here, and just send it back into a child's pose. Take a little rest. A little rest, a little regroup. Good. Let your head be heavy. And we're going to come on back up. We're going to do the same thing, just a little bit slower, just to feel into it a little more. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Inhale, right leg back and up. And exhale, rotate the toes out, flex your foot. Inhale, slowly drawing your knee towards your elbow. And hold for the exhale. So you're really syncing up that breath here. Hold for the inhale. Return on the exhale. Rotate the hip. Hold, inhale, belly button towards spine, don't collapse. And then next breath, send it down. Inhale, left foot up. Flex the foot. Exhale, rotate that hip. Flex that foot towards the wall. or my back wall. Inhale to slowly bring that left knee towards your left elbow. Exhale to hold and feel into this compression. One more inhale here. And then exhale, press it back. Rotate at the hip. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Excellent. Here we're going to go into a little puppy pose, which is basically halfway between tabletop, which we're in now, and child's pose, which we were just in. You're going to send your hips back just a little bit. You're going to walk your forearms down to the floor. Maybe this is where you're at. Maybe your elbows are a little bit up. Some of you may be able to place your forehead on the ground. Some of you may even be able to put your chin on the ground. You can try that and just see just how much stretch is involved in doing that. This is not my forte stretch. So if you are stressed to get your chin on the ground, place your forehead on the ground instead. You don't need to be stressing. Try to find a place here where you can release a little bit in. If you're tense, just lift up a little. Excellent. And then lifting from that belly button, low spine, roll yourself back up into a tabletop. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale to thread the needle underneath that left arm. Left fingers can walk forward if you like. If you want to add a little challenge, you can extend your left toes. Hey. This is a little bit of a balance challenge. I feel like I'm rocking side to side. And then bring your leg in if it was out. Inhale that arm back up. Exhale, send it back down. Other side. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale to send it underneath that right elbow bends. Place that left ear on the ground, thread the needle. Right fingers can walk forward if you like. If you want a little balance challenge, you can extend one foot. I'm extending my right foot behind. Really just make it your own. Lift it off the ground an inch or two. Oh yeah. Now we're really getting into it. And then lower your foot wherever it is. Bring it back to meet your other knee. Bring your right hand in. Deep breath to lift your left hand into the sky. And then exhale, bring it back down. Good. And while we set up and prepare for a downward dog, just bring some movement into your spine. Anything, if you'd like to stretch the wrists out, anything you'd like to do here. Taking some breaths. When you feel good and loose, you're going to walk your hands forward about a palm print. Plant your all 10 fingers. This bracelet is getting in the way. Tuck those toes, and as if someone pinched your tailbone to hang you on a clothesline, lovely images. Lift those hips into the air nice and high, and walk out one foot, and then the other. Right now in my little earphones is a really slow rhythm, so I'm just going to kind of bend to the rhythm. Ooh, yeah. Good job. And then find a little bit of stillness. We're going to bend our knees deeply. Lift our hips higher in the air. Deep breath here. And then exhale to straighten up a little more. Deep breath in through the nose. Blow out the birthday candles. Just like that. One more time. Almost there. Excellent. Gaze forward. Begin to step those feet like bear steps. Nice and slow and big towards your hands. And then let your neck relax. Good. Bend your knees if this is your first forward fold of the day, especially. And you can just rock back and forth like you're a mop, gently cleaning the floor, your fingertips, or you can reach for opposite elbows, cradle your head. And then releasing back to the ground, we're going to inhale, halfway lift, and just find your halfway lift here. We're not yet flowing, we're just kind of feeling into the different phases of our flow. So shoulders back in their pockets. You're kind of fighting gravity here. Sending them back, letting your head be an extension of your neck, which is an extension of your spine. It goes all the way down and out through your tailbone. Hands are in a place where you can keep that length in your spine. You're just gazing a little bit ahead of your mat, a little ahead of your toes. Deep breath in to build some momentum, and then exhale to release it all down to the floor. Excellent job. And then now let's roll up by bending deeply, letting your head be relaxed. So really feel the energy as it rises up, as you unfold bit by bit by bit. Ending with your shoulders, chin up, gaze lifted. I'm just gonna adjust my camera a little so hopefully you can see the top of my head. Whatever. Or if not, whatever. Arms open out, energize out, a little Tadasana mountain pose, gripping through the four corners of your feet. Eyes can close. Find your center here. Imagine your midline, head over heart, over pelvis, into the earth. Good. And here we go. We're going to open our eyes, bend your knees, deep breath in, reach those arms up, and then exhale to slice the air in front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let's roll up one more time. Bend your knees. Roll up one vertebrae at a time, except this time your arms continue. They come up, palms meet at the top. Then exhale one more time, forward fold. Oh, good. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Excellent. Let's plant our hands, bend our knees. We're going to step back, right foot, left foot, high plank, or low plank, wherever you'd like to be here. Hold your plank for a moment. Good. High or low. Squeezing your butt cheeks wherever you are. Just squeezing them. Now everybody drop your knees if you weren't already. And just feel that belly button is pulling up towards your lower spine. Again, so you kind of avoid the collapse of your pelvis. Cool. Kind of lift up. We're going to lift our knees and lower them 3 times. So only 3, but you know the end is coming. So we're going to inhale to lift our knees, squeeze our glutes together. Exhale to release gently to the ground. Keep that intensity in your torso. Inhale, lift, squeeze. Exhale, lower, you got it. Last one. Inhale, squeeze it all up. Ooh, exhale, knees can lower, or you can just shift forward into your little half push-up here, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Just rest for a second. Look. Yeah. Nice job. I'm tired now. Yes, maybe I should have saved ab work for the end. Hands underneath your shoulders. Pressing your elbows towards each other, forehead to the ground. Inhale, little cobra, just a little guy. And while you're up here, here's a good practice. So you can just chill for a second while just chill while I just explain. So while you're in your cobra, if you would like to kind of change the muscle activation a little bit, rather than just going up and feeling that your lower back is kind of taking it all and bending in a way that isn't comfortable, you can almost feel that your hands are pulling the mat back. You can almost see the little curl I'm creating. So your hands are pulling back, your heart is pressing through. Like you're spiding yourself through the mud through your hands. And you will feel activation in your arms as the weight gets dispersed and isn't all in your lower back. Let's try it. So let's have our foreheads on the ground, hands around either the low ribs or shoulder area. We're going to inhale, elbows close to each other. And then feel that you're pulling the mat behind you as you slide your heart through your shoulders. And then exhale down. Well done. Inhale from tabletop. Curl those toes. Downward facing dog. Oh yes. I feel like just doing that, like set my mat back like 4 inches. We're going to inhale the right leg up. And then exhale, we're going to send it to the outside edge of our right pinky toe. You know where we're going, lizard, oh yeah. So for this, you're going to turn your right toe out a little bit to increase the stretch. And you can always drop your back foot, your back knee down to the ground. Here, you are welcome to lizard. You have different options here if you'd like. Again, you can lift and lower the back knee as you like. You can additionally go onto your forearms. If you have a block, which I do and I just never use, you can Rest your head. So you don't feel the weight of your head adding to the stretch. Your head is supported while your legs do the stretching. Options. Good, we're gonna hold it for a couple more moments. Opening up here. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Lower that back leg. You're gonna come back onto your hands, gripping through the floor with that tucked back foot, lifting that back knee, sending the front leg back to meet the other. High plank, deep inhale. And exhale, lifting those hips, downward facing dog. Yes, you just use your core essentially to lift you back up. Wonderful. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, left foot high into the sky. Again, not so high it's just like out of control, but just lift it up. Then exhale, knee is still high. You're going to step your left leg on the outside of that left foot. It might take a couple of steps. I was just doing this yesterday, so I feel a little bit of smoothness. Back leg can drop. You can keep your toes tucked or untuck them. Welcome to lizard on the left side. Your options, you can drop down. You can use any level of the block to support your head. If you have 2 blocks, you can put your forearms on 2 blocks. Really just play with what you have, make it work for you. I'm gonna hold for a few more moments. If you notice, as I'm a little tense on this leg, so you might even see my back, I'm starting to kind of arch the cat pose. See if you can relax that heart through your elbows. So you might need to come down to your hands, open that heart again, deep breath, and then lower back down. Just find your way. That left toe is slightly turned out if you weren't already doing that. It just kind of helps to increase the stretch, also as a protective gesture for your knee. And come on back to your hands. Now we're so open in our hips. Gripping through the tucked toes of the back foot, you're going to lift that back knee. Feeling the weight, you're supporting yourself in your hands, so you're going to send that front leg back. Inhale to shift forward. And exhale. Chaturanga. Untuck those toes. Pressing up into baby cobra, maybe bigger cobra, and still feeling those palms pressing you back as your heart comes forward. Exhale down. Very good. Inhale to tuck those toes and press up either to the tabletop or maybe you can go straight towards the downward facing dog. Excellent. And walk up your knees here. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's take a moment in dolphin. Hey! So just as we did puppy pose on our forearm, same thing up here. We're going to carefully lower onto forearm, then forearm, and send those hips in the air. Let that head be heavy. It's okay if your knees are bending, by the way. Your knees are bent, it's great. I don't have a preference. And then we're going to come on back, downward facing dog. Excellent. Now we're going to walk our hands towards our feet. Good. Feet should be approximately hip-width distance apart. If they're wider, if they're narrower, do you. We're going to bend our knees deeply. Send one hand underneath your foot so your toes reach your little wrist crease here. And other one, if you have rings and stuff, might be a good time to take it off. If the humidity didn't make my fingers so swollen, and let your head drop. Your knees can be bent. You're not really stretching too much here. You're just getting used to this. And then pressing into your toes so that your full back of your head is on the ground. You begin to straighten one knee and then the other, or move towards straightness. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And then maybe you want to try moving towards straightness with both knees at the same time. Good. And anytime it gets too intense, just bring a bend back in. Yes, we've been upside down for a long time. Don't worry, we're almost going to release. And then carefully bend your knees, release one hand, release the other. And just from here, do a nice, slow roll up. Nice and slow, because you might get a little dizzy. Just feel into all that stretching we just did to basically the glutes, the hamstrings, all that lovely back leg stuff. Nice work. Take a moment at the top. Breathe in deeply. Feel the kind of blood rushing back from your head, dispersing throughout your body. Wonderful. So now we're going to come to the center, and we're going to move into our warrior two, I think we'll do today. We're going to start from standing. We're going to open our legs, open our arms into this 5-pointed star. For obvious reasons, you're a 5-pointed star, because you're a star, and these are our 5 points. If you can see yourself in your screen, check to see if your ankles are underneath your wrists. If you can't, just gonna do your best you can, eyeball it. Usually the feet can go out a little further to be as wide as your wingspan. Good. Yes. All right, so now we're gonna turn, let's do our right foot first. Let's turn our right foot out to face the short edge of the right side of the mat. Does that make sense? So your right foot is now pointing to the right, your left foot is as it was. Take a deep breath in, your arms are already set. Exhale to settle into our warrior two by bending the right leg into a lunge. If your knee is directly over your ankle, you're good. If you want more of a stretch, just kind of walk out your back leg a little bit, like toe heel, so that way your front knee doesn't like go way beyond. All right, I was just cheating with my arms while I explain things. So we're gonna inhale, find our alignment again. We always like to lean, just natural. Find that center alignment. Exhale to gaze over the right, two index finger, middle finger. Settle your shoulder blades down. Just find some stability here. Now we're going to activate the muscles as if you're pulling your legs towards each other. Oh yeah, that will really get the glute and the underlegs going, the hamstrings, and the quad and the inner leg here will also be working. So as if you're pulling your legs towards each other. Activate, activate, you might feel some shaking. Whew, and then exhale. A peaceful warrior here. Hands can support the lower back. Inhale to come back up, warrior two. Exhale, forearm to shin. Reach your arm up. You can extend into triangle. Keep your hand here. It's all good. Exhale, come back up. Inhale to go a little deeper, even if it's just in your mind's eye. Sink into this, feel some power. And then exhale, carefully begin to straighten that front leg. Oh yeah, good stuff. Arms shooting out the star, you've reached the star again. Left hip to left side, and just teeter like arrows in a clock towards that right foot. Gaze up, little pyramid. I get why, oh, whatever. There's so many names of yoga poses that I sort of understand why, but then I don't. Option for the top arm to reach beyond behind in a little half bind. Gazing up. Wonderful, and then slightly bending that front knee to just support standing up. Begin to rotate the right toes to the front. Hands on your hips. If they were out the whole time, please rest them. Good work. Now we're gonna go into this is not yoga per se, but it engages a lot of the same stuff we do in yoga. This is kind of like a version of sumo squats. Just follow my lead here. I'm not entirely sure what a sumo squat is, but I just know I call these sumo squats. So essentially what you're gonna do is you're essentially gonna lunge on one leg, and come up, and lunge on the other leg, and come up. And then we're gonna sync it up with our breathing, make it a little more holistic, unite the breath and the body. And then we're gonna add a little twist. So here you can bring your left hand towards the right, and then your right hand towards the left. You want to take it from there, you can lift both arms. Oh yeah, as you twist and shine that heart out to either side. So wonderful, let's now bring some breath in. So toes pointing to the front in a way that's comfortable. If that's very slightly turned out, that's okay. We just don't want to twist with our toes pointing outward. That would be very painful. So feet mostly front. Inhale, arms out, take a deep breath. Exhale to bend your right knee, bring your left hand towards that foot. Gaze is up. Inhale to come back. Exhale, left leg bends, right hand comes in. Top arm can also just hang out on your hip. Doesn't have to do the full extension. Good, and as you get comfortable, invite a little more twist in that lower belly. Maybe your heart can shine a little more forward, a little more upward. Let's do 2 more each leg. Inhale on the way up. This is my last one. And then when we come up strong, just do a couple just arm swings. Front, back. Let them be heavy. Let the arms just tell you where they want to flop. Good work. So we are still in this lovely straddle, working it out. Well done. Now we're going to rotate our left toes to face the left side of the room. And you can make any adjustments. If your feet kind of moved a little bit, front foot should essentially bisect the back foot. So just check your alignment, make sure you're all stable and good. I'm going to inhale those arms wide, warrior arms. I'm going to exhale to find that alignment. For me, that's usually shifting my ribcage so it's in line with my pelvis and my head. Inhale strong. Exhale to bend, lunge into that left leg. Gaze over the left fingertips, shoulders down and back, warrior 2. Activate those muscles by engaging and pulling those legs towards each other. You might even lift an inch or 2 up, just from the activation of those muscles. Exhale, peaceful warrior. There's all different names for this guy. Surrendering warrior. There's other ones. Let's just say peaceful, because it's the one I remember. Inhale, warrior 2. Find your stability. Exhale, forearm to thigh, right arm high in the air, or you can slide that left arm down to the ground. Blocks, great spot for a block right here, just so far. But block right in front of your foot can really help get you. Heck, I'll just demonstrate. When I put the block here, all of a sudden, my angle is so much straighter than this. So blocks can be really helpful in finding alignment. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, settle. Gaze strong. You're almost there. You've made it this far. And then exhale, lifting up, straightening that left leg. Turning that left foot in. Oh yes. Inhale to get tall. Gripping through the pinky edges of your feet as well as the big toe side. Halfway lift. Good. Inhale to open your arms here. I feel like I just look like a bat. Bat arms. And we're going to bend to one side, gazing at the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Left side. Back to center. Exhale right. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale up. Good. Using your breath, letting those shoulders be in their shoulder sockets, not letting gravity force them down. Working the back muscles. And then with your breath, play around with how far you bend into this stretch or how little you bend in. Take one more each side. Well done, well done. With this steadiness, you're achieving a very natural flow and relaxing state for your body, even though you're working hard. Exhale, let your head hang. Let your arms hang. Use this as a recovery if that's accessible to you. If not, you are always welcome to sit down, hit child's pose, hit a nap, whatever you need to do. If you're joining me in this wide-legged forward fold, just press yourself through your legs as much as you can. Maybe you're holding on to your legs. Maybe our trusty blocks are here. You don't have blocks, books work. Improvise if you don't have a block. Books, little boxes, lots of pillows. They're a little squishy, but they'll get you height. And then reach as far back as you feel comfortable reaching. Hold it for a moment. Let your body reach this new edge. And then exhale to bend your knees slightly and roll up. Letting your head still be heavy. The inclination is to gaze back up, but let the head still be heavy. All right, so we've done it. We've made it. Great job. Now we have to bring our legs together. So yogi's choice. One that just kind of hits the spot is just bend your knees and jump up together. and then give them a little shake. Alternatively, you can toe heel, or you can just be like a Catherine. I'm just stepping my feet together. Okay, so shake them out. We're almost done with our standing work. And I know it's a lot today. It feels like, for me, I feel like I'm like a fitness. I'm like, and 3, 2, 1. But it's more I'm counting so you know what you're kind of getting into, not like, how long am I going to be here? So give yourself a little shake. We're going to go into a balanced stretch. Extended fingers to toe pose, I think is the approximate translation. So for this, there are many stopping points. You do not have to go all the way from A to Z. And in fact, I don't encourage it because, you know, it might be disconcerting to skip a bunch of steps in the middle. So nice and loose. We're going to start with our feet hips width distance apart, find our alignment. Next, we're going to transfer our weight onto our left leg. Feel the support as we begin to lift the right. Good. Don't have to pay too much attention to the foot. If you want to flex or point it, go for it. Bend our standing leg slightly as we hug in our right knee. This could be a stopping point. You might have stopped already. Good. And we're going to lower it slightly. And we're going to take our hands, and if you can, you're going to bow forward towards your thigh and clasp your hands underneath. This is an excellent stopping point. Just getting used to this balance, being bent and balanced. For those of you who are like, I do yoga every single day and I love this. Inhale deeply, and then exhale to straighten your leg forward. This is a little bit of a adapted from Bikram yoga. I'm not a huge fan of Bikram. No hate, just not my cup of tea. I find the poses to be very intense, which a lot of people love about Bikram. You know exactly what you're getting. 26 poses 2 times. Good, and if you can, dropping your nose towards your knee. Your knee does not have to be straight. My knee is not straight. And I've practiced this, so don't worry. Get back in there if you want. I'm gonna hold it for another 30 seconds or so, so you know I haven't forgotten about you if you've been holding it the whole time. And then slowly bring that leg in, hug it back up, and then let it gently fall to the ground. If you didn't completely fall to the ground, let your foot gently fall to the ground. Good, shake it out. And just a note, my standing leg, sometimes in Bikram yoga, you'll hear in class, straighten this leg, straighten that leg. It's just that's sort of against my sort of philosophy as a human being. You've gotta have some flexibility to kind of go with the flow. What's this beautiful quote about? It's a wonderful quote that I can't remember that I wish I could express to you, but it's essentially about this type of, that trees that don't bend in the wind, they snap. The trees that can sway and move with the storms and the erosion and all the stuff that's going on in nature around them, they're the ones that last. And they may change shape in adapting, but it's because they have this flexibility. So, you know, if you love the Bikram straight style, go for it. But if you want to be a bendy tree like me, keep a slight bend in that supporting leg. All right. Alignment, deep breath in. And now shift your weight to your right leg as we begin to lift the left. Yes, this is a spot. This could be just some practicing balance here, practicing activation down my whole spine. Alternatively, we can just kind of warm up that hip a little by hugging that leg in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then if and when you're ready, you can carefully bow towards that thigh, clasp your hands underneath your foot. Good, fine. This is fine spot to hang. Or you can inhale deeply, and then exhale, maybe straighten your leg a little bit. Maybe straighten it 2 inches at a time, till you get it a little further out, a little further out. A little tip, if you're wobbly, bending your standing leg even deeper brings your center of gravity closer to the ground, and it helps stabilize you. Good, and when you're ready, bend that leg, let go of your butt, your clasped hands, hug that foot in, And then exhale, send it down. Ooh. Shake out that probably cramping standing leg. Shake it all out. Good. And just do a couple of Michael Phelpses. Whee. Awesome work. And now we find our way to the floor. So this is the way I like to guide some of my dance classes to the floor. Just take one foot and bring it out. Bring it out to the side. Bring it out to the back, so much that your knees are going to touch. Whoa. So usually it's a little more graceful, but some version of that. Great. All right. So let's just take a moment. Left shin, left leg along the floor. That's my right leg. Right leg along the floor. Left shin stacks on top. Inhale, tall spine. And then exhale, bring some circles. Keeping that length in your spine. Some circles to the right. And then some circles to the left. Good, and then we're going to come back to center and just switch the legs. Left leg along the floor, right leg stacked on top. Heel to shin, heel to shin. Inhale tall, keeping that length, just rotating at the hips. Little circles one way. Maybe they get a little bigger to you. And circle the other way. Just flexing those feet, keeping our awareness through the whole body. Hands can be where they're supportive. Song's so sad. My playlist just went from really upbeat yoga to like, I don't know, it's like Bonnie Bear or something. It knows that we're about to do abs. All right, and then just release your legs, shake them out. We are gonna come onto our butts, our booties. And usually smoothly, just like sit on your butt. All right, feet on the floor. You're gonna reach your arms up, and just like we did in our past couple of Thursday classes, you're gonna contract first at the lower back. So as if your upper body didn't even realize you were going back. It's like, oh, I'm just following. So we're gonna inhale deeply. Exhale, contract at the lower back, and we're gonna lower down until everything but our shoulder blades are on the ground. And then inhale, come back up. To get expansion. Exhale, contract, lower down. Inhale, work it back up. Expand. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And we're going to hold at the bottom. Good. Open your arms wide, flip your palms, and pulse. Yeah. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Energy. Good. And then release it all down to the ground. Give yourself a little stretch. Take a rest, take a rest. If you'd like to take a sip of water, now is a good time. Rehydrate, rehydrate. Recovery is always important, so take the time you need. And that is like inching that way. I swear it's gonna be just out of the frame soon. And when you are ready, we're gonna find ourselves onto our bellies. We're gonna do a little bit of a low back exercise. Here, try not necessarily to emphasize how high you go. That's putting a lot of pressure on our low backs, and this is less about the flexibility of it and more about the strength. So it's more about the hold. So instead of asking how high you can reach, think about how much you can hold and really feel into that little hold we do in between our lifts. So for this, we're going to do kind of like an airplane. Your legs are going to be wide, tops of your feet on the ground, like superhero lifts. Forehead to the floor, we're going to inhale and lift everything, and then release. And we're going to do 8. So think again of that little hold in between, as that is your strength building block rather than how high you can go, which is cool. But not necessarily making you stronger. No. So let's start together. Deep inhale to start. And then exhale, release. Inhale, up. Hold. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This is going to be halfway. Excellent. We've crossed the halfway mark. Number 6. You only have 2 left. Yes. 7. Last one. 8 and hold it. And can you pulse your arms? It's a little hard. And release. Good. And from here, we're going to roll over onto our backs. Have your knees up, feet planted on the ground, arms out, and just rock your knees slowly back and forth. Just to bring some juice back into your lower back, which is just a lot more work that you might feel tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll have a soreness-free Saturday. Good, 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 good. And now that we're on our backs, let's roll over onto our sides. You're gonna use your bottom arm as like just a little support. You're gonna bend your knees like we're making a little letter C. And your top arm, you're gonna kind of use it to support your upper body. We're just gonna lift your right knee 8 times, 7, not using your ankle at all. 6, just here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now we're going to bring our knees so they are directly out, making a right angle. It's kind of hard to show it here, but right from your hips down to the ground. And we're going to lift our full top leg. 8, keeping your foot flexed. 7, not too high, just up. 5, 4, 3, oh yeah, I feel it now. 2, 1. Now what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to extend, reach out, extend, lift, and down. So that's 1, 2, extend, back in, up, down. 3, da, 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 da. 4. Okay, so you might be feeling it. I am feeling it, but I'm not giving up on you. Da, da. Okay, 6. Real fire, real activating exercise here. 7, you're almost there. Last one. Oh God, 8. And hold it up. And release, make a little fist, and just like literally like knock some life back into your butt. Good. All down the side. You're up. Well, what are these called? It really hurts to massage. It'll occur to me. It'll come to me. We're gonna rotate our legs. Same thing other side. So because you've already fired up this side might fire up a little faster than the other one. So it's good. It's good. Good. Just find at least a comfortable place for your head, arms supporting, knees diagonal out like a letter C. We're just gonna open 8 like a clam. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, just your knee, 2, 1. Here we go. Legs directly out from your hips, lifting the full knee up. 1, or 8, 7, 6, 5. Just a couple inches. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, up, extend, in, lift, down. Oh gosh, 8, 2, 3, that's 7. Da, 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 finish 6. Da, 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 that's 5. 4, 3, God. 2 more, we can do this. 2, and 1. You've made it. Hold it. And lower. Okay, make a little fist. Give it a nice little punch. Man, it's still bugging me. Marcelo, what's the name of this muscle that I'm pointing to? No, the side one. What? my abductor, it's not what I'm thinking, but it is right. So multiple muscles linking. I keep wanting to say oblique. Anyway, next video I will have all the corrected statements of my anatomy. All right, my friends, we're going to move into, let's just move into it. Let's just move into it. I'm gonna roll over onto our bellies. And you're gonna open your legs wide, and you're gonna bring your feet together as if you're clapping with your feet. I don't know why you're doing that, but it's just one of those days where you can't bring it to yourself to use your hands to apply. And you're gonna press your feet together really hard. So just feel that connection. You might be able to see my glutes immediately activate when I press the soles of my feet together. So really feel that the activation is in your glutes. Push them together. Good, so we're gonna press them together and then lift our knees. Try that on your own. Just see what it kind of involves to do that. You press your feet together, you lift them up. Good, we're going to do 4. All right, so find a place that's comfortable for your upper body. Pressing those feet together, inhale deeply, exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Halfway down. Inhale to lower. Lift. Last one. Lift. Whew. And then release those legs. Bring those legs directly from turned in underneath your hips. You're going to press into a tabletop. And then just send your hips through into a child's pose. Just stretch it all out. Good. Oh, yes. Wonderful. And then here we are in our tabletops. We're just going to come down in a way that feels good. Let's just twist it out. Let's get everything kind of back in. So let's hug our legs in for a second and just very gentle hug and just rotate your hips one way, little circles, and then the other way. Just bringing a little bit of motion in. And we're going to open our hands, let the soles of our feet hit the ground, and we're just going to drop our knees to one side, having both shoulder blades pressing towards the earth. Maybe your gaze looks over the opposite hand. Option to use your bottom foot to rest your ankle on top of the top leg, and it kind of applies additional pressure, stretching out the quad area and the hip rotator a little more, if you'd like. And then uncross those legs if they were crossed. Bring those knees back up to the sky. Deep breath here. Just let it fill you. Class is winding down. You're just dropping your legs to the other side. You're just stretching it out, passively letting yourself twist. If you want, you can bring your bottom leg to rest on top of your top leg. Gaze over your opposite arms. Maybe gaze is just internal as you close your eyes. Now we kind of surrender to our bodies taking over. We let our minds stop telling it what to do, and we just kind of let it heal and rest and rejuvenate. Excellent. And uncross those legs if they were crossed. Inhale deeply as you bring those knees back up to the sky. Exhale. And here you are invited to do anything you didn't have the chance to do. If you wanted to lift your legs up in a shoulder stand or a bridge pose or a couple wheels, which kind of look like the bridge where you're on your hands. I'm not going to do any of those things. And when you are ready, just carefully and slowly let one leg draw out to the side, relax the toe out. The other foot drops out to the side, the toes can fall out. Your palms and your arms reaching out. Palms can be facing up, they can be grounded towards the earth, whatever you feel like right now. Palms up in a gesture of receiving, receptivity, taking in, absorbing. Palms down in a symbol of grounding, connectedness, rooting. You want to take last minute like fidgets or itch your hair or wipe your sweat. Now's your chance before you take a deep breath. And with your exhale, you release, settle, and commit to this relaxing, restorative pose. Let yourself be here. And as if you were walking out onto a porch on a summer's day, hearing the sound of cicadas, having a cool beverage in your hand, maybe you can hear distant traffic in the background. There's just nowhere else to be right now. Nothing needs to be any shape different, in any form different. It's just fine. It's just good. It's cool, and you're cool. And release with your exhales. And just have some silence. Feel the heaviness of your hands in the ground. Maybe the heaviness of your forehead. As you surrender, luxuriating in doing nothing, I'm going to roll over and just read you a poem by Toni Morrison, an author who I just think Toni Morrison's work is amazing. And I hope that you enjoyed this poem. Wow. Even opening my eyes was a bit of a challenge. This poem is called "It Comes Unadorned." It comes unadorned like a phrase strong enough to cast a spell. It comes unbidden like the turn of sun through hills or stars in wheels of song. The jeweled feet of women dance the earth, arousing it to spring. Shoulders broad as a road bend to share the weight of years. Profiles breach the distance and lean toward an ordinary kiss, bliss. It comes naked into the world like a charm. Just take a deep breath. Whatever words you heard, let them pass over you or through you or into you. I'm going to read it once more because I adore it so. It says, "It comes unadorned" by Toni Morrison. It comes unadorned like a phrase strong enough to cast a spell. It comes unbidden like the turn of sun through hills or stars in wheels of song. The jeweled feet of women dance the earth, arousing it to spring. Shoulders broad as a road bend to share the weight of years. Profiles breach the distance and lean toward an ordinary kiss, bliss. It comes naked into the world like a charm. My friends, so wherever this Shavasana finds you, I invite you to stay here as long as you can. I'm simply bringing my hands to prayer in front of my forehead in a gesture of thanks and gratitude. Thank you so much for coming to our yoga class today. Namaste is offered to those who would like to receive it. Any donations from today's class will go to the Lebanon Red Cross. And I hope that this weekend is not humid and full of some good memories. So take care, everyone. Be well, and I hope to see you back at our next class.
Oh.